Undoubtedly one of the biggest songs for 2020. But for COVID-19, like I did say, this brother will be cashing in at all the events. Well, I have the CEO of 3 Media Network, Sadiq, join me on RysenShyne this morning. Good morning, Sadiq.
Good morning, anyway.
I hope you're doing very well.
Well, I am.
Thanks for
joining this.
I know, right? Thanks for joining us this morning on YFM in Kumasi. When was the last time you were in Kumasi, actually?
I think it should be some few months ago.
Hey, so you came to do an undercover job, eh?
No, I just came to. I attended a wedding, a family wedding, and then I came back. I've got some family in Kumasi as well.
Oh, okay, a big family, extended family.
Yes.
All right. So this morning we are looking at COVID-19 and the effects or the impact on the creative art industry. First and foremost, do you think COVID-19 has had any impact on the creative arts industry?
Yes, it has. I mean, COVID-19 has impacted different industries. One of the industries that is severely hit it is the media and entertainment industry or creative arts industry in general. And so yes, it hit us. It hit us really, 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 really bad. I mean, one of the major components of industry, which is a live part of it, is really hit it and impacted it. It's also really affected revenues. 360 days. If you look at it, there are different types of revenues that's affected. For media, it's affected advertising budgets because brands have had to re-strategize and turn on and allow their social impact units or the CSR units to take the lead in communications and all of that. So, I mean, some budgets have been withheld, some budgets have been turned around. It doesn't look like there'll be in the ways they spend. You know how the brands spend every quarter. So exactly. The first quarter they spend, second quarter they spend, third quarter. Because first and second quarter became some way, there's a likelihood that the budget or whatever was budgeted for first and second quarter is what will take them through to the end of the year, which essentially means that revenues have been lost. And music, live affects a number of things across the world. It affects merchandise, affects publishing, affects it affects different facets of the industry. So really, we've taken a major hit.
Let's zoom down to 3Music Awards, for instance. This year, I knew you had the women's branch, you had a lineup of activities prior to the main event. Unfortunately, all these things that didn't come up. How did that affect you as a CEO of such an amazing company?
Well, like I said, it took some of our revenues away. For the first time this year, we're cruising to having major sponsor and some supporting sponsors. Yes, and so we're looking to at least breaking even by the end of the main event itself, because we have started spending from last year. Our process often starts just around this time. So, I mean, even just around this time, just like we did last year, we're taking a lot of views, feedback, trying to put that together into the documents, pitch it to the board to say, this is what we're looking at or thinking, and the board will direct us on what to do. So the process starts, we go to do the review. There's a point in time where you have to restructure the board or add new members or keep it, and then you go to do the review. After the review, the process starts with a lot of the break of comms and activities and so the board sessions in Accra, beyond the board sessions in Accra, we came to do the nominees announcement event. After the nominees announcement event, then there was the women's branch. After women's branch, a day before the Fun Festival, which was going to be one of our major commercial elements for this year, we had to call it off. And then, the award itself couldn't come off in the way that it had to and all of that. All these things took a toll on revenues. I mean, you have spent money, and so you're looking to see if you could at least cash in somewhere somehow, which we couldn't. Which means that, I mean,
but then wouldn't sponsors look at the situation and say, "Oh, I mean, we've seen you spend. I mean, you did a little bit, so we want to give you something small."
No, I mean, no, and that's particular instance. A lot of them, like I said, were driven by because the point would have been what would they be spending on? They would they would have to give you money in consideration of a certain marketing opportunity. And in this particular case, the marketing opportunity was not something that they desired or looked forward to, because around the time, a lot of them were confused because they didn't want to be seen as an insensitive brand. They still wanted to communicate, but they wanted to communicate the human face instead of the business part. So within that instance, we're all trying to understand and accommodate each other. At the end of the day, we have to choose long-term relationships with some of these brands. Rather than the main legalities, because then you find a deal, you're probably making some initial payments here and there. And now you have to fit all of that and all of that, So there are two ways of looking at it. You could do the purely legal part of it, or you could look at the relationship element part of it. We thought about the relationship element of it. These businesses are in for a long time, and we are also in business for a long time. There's no need really burning bridges. And so you had to do what was needful in terms of the way the negotiations were going.
So how did you manage to, sorry for cutting you, but how did you manage to pull the virtual edition? And people had said, why wouldn't you stay back and wait for a while? Because, at the end of the day, you need to even break even. So why wouldn't you stay back but still want to follow your calendar of the event and go ahead and do a virtual show, which will fetch you close to nothing?
Well, firstly, how we did it before I go to the why. How it was difficult. We had to put different resources from the team, from family, friends, my wife, everybody, to try to make it happen. One of the things we were also able to do is, unlike before, where some of the vendors who we had been with all throughout the year, we had to go back to under the circumstances, renegotiate, sort of try to make it a revenue share kind of a thing, more or less than an actual paid for, event. So we found ways and means around mitigating it, even though we still expended anyway. In terms of why, it was important that we tested our what's the word I would use? There's this word. We tested our tenacity.
Your weight, okay.
Yes, our tenacity as a business, and most importantly, once we prided ourselves as very innovative and forward-looking organization,
young and funky and all that.
Exactly. This was the point where we needed to show it, and most importantly as well for the brand, we thought that Corona shouldn't just dampen the brand. Don't forget, we've just only been in the space for 2 years, and this is the third year. And so for us, we thought more towards consolidation of the brand and really nourishing the brand and feeding fans, people that have been following the brand, with something at least towards next year. And then thirdly, our calendar year, if you look at it, a bit of it goes into 2 years ago. Because between the November it starts from November. So if we are going to look at it in terms of what we're supposed to do this year, the calendar year started from November 2018. And then, we're all going to go into it. So we risk losing a bit of currency, because if you extend it, there will be some songs in it that will still feel like 2 years or 3 years ago. And so you were weighing it and didn't want to lose out on that particular currency. So this and more, plus other plans that we have as a business. There's a number of things that we intend to do as a business. From the 3Media Networks part, there's what we're trying to do. From 3Media Entertainment part, there's what we're trying to do as well. So we're going through all this sort of trying to restructure and then, reposition the business well and pursue certain platforms to be able to achieve profitability by a certain point in time. So all these plans were in motion, and we didn't want all these things to have impacted.
Moving forward, it seems a lot would have to change, especially with events, which you are more into. I know you do many other things, but a lot of things would have to change. How are we supposed to adapt to the changes, and what should we be doing? Because events, for instance, imagine the National Theatre and say 2 meter apart, revenue-wise and all that. How are we going to live with it, and are we ready for that, actually?
Well, first and foremost, we need to come to the realization that this is what is going across the world of the new normal. When a certain new attitude or behavior is normalized, you have to live with it. And if you have to live with it, every business will have to think around trying to turn it around. So in between now, there will be newer models that will not be used to, newer commercial models that we are not used to, that will come out of the thinking and ingenuity of the people. There will be newer directions and everything. May not necessarily be limited to physical attendance of audience. We've seen how we've gone virtual. BET Awards is going virtual. A number of things is going virtual. In the midst of it, there's an entirely new business model that has come out of it. You've realized the Versus.
Yes.
The Versus, which was supposed to be an audience engagement activity between two people, have become an entirely new business model altogether.
That's true.
And from what we hear, they're about raising a lot more money because of the ability to draw in a number of audience. Ordinarily, this should have been things that have been happening physical. So a lot of these sort of innovations will drive activities going forward. We'll see a lot more consolidation towards the YouTube elements because, Charlie, we're saying that if you can drive the audience there somehow, you can draw a lot of money. So we're going to see a number of these innovations. A number of what was going to be physical will now be packaged. There are a number of platforms that are coming. Twitch has already come. Twitch is in Africa now, and there's another one that's coming in Ghana. I was speaking about last week, Blue something, I forgot it. Where we're going to get to a point where we start to create experiences for audiences that will be home that would have to pay as a way of turning around, saying, okay, we're turning around the ticketing model and seeing how we can tap into. So I cannot really, in the way it's going, predict how it's all going to pan out, but we're going to see a number of these innovations. It may not necessarily be limited to, the same old show up, but this time around show up wearing your mask, wash your hands, or anything like that. It will be one of the easiest ones to do in the absence of any major ingenious thinking. It will be the easiest to say, well, our event is still coming on, the Fan Festival is coming on. If you have to make it, wear your mask, or we're selling, if you buy a ticket, it entitles you to a mask, to a sanitizer, to hand washing stations, and when you come, you've got to do A, B, C, D. I know it's still not going to be the same for a lot of people because they are used to Charlie showing up and rubbing bodies and chanting and following the music and all of that, but we're going to see a number of innovations relative to how vessels have come in and others are coming in.
And I know already, Facebook, for instance, is trying to introduce a situation where fans could actually pay for creatives so they're able to watch their streams. And I know in Ghana, Chiame Kwame is kind of partnering with another company, so they're able to also stream live events. And over the weekend, I realized that Miss Ghana had even gone on with Crusade concept, and that you had to pay before you watch the Miss Ghana event. So it means that things are really changing, and that's going to be the way forward.
Yes, that would be the way forward. It's become the new norm. Like I said, we need to drum it on for people to just begin to understand that this is the new normal, whether we like it or not. These are the changes that was brought about by the corona pandemic, but these are not changes that would go or you wish away easily. The best that would happen is that we'll find a way to marry or connect all these new ideas into some of the existing business models. But what's important is that we need to begin to answer, because a number of things are going on. I know a BTL agency that quickly re-strategized and started to do virtual events for their clients. And they've been doing virtual events, internal virtual events. They've been doing internal staff engagement, and it's all leveraging technology. So it's worth thinking around it. There'll be a number of innovations, or we may stick to the old ways. It depends on how all these things will turn out. The way the corona is going, it's not things that you can think about it and see the insights and talk about it, but sometimes you cannot talk about it in absolute terms, just so you get it wrong, even as a business. But a number of these innovations will come out, and if one of the stars of the period is anything to go by, which is the Vessels platforms, then it's something that would to a major extent also direct the thinking of industry going forward.
Thank you very much, Sadiq, for speaking to us this morning, and we are grateful. Hopefully, we knock on your doors some other time.
Okay, thank you very much for having me too.
All right, have a great day. So you heard us speak to the CEO of 3Music Awards, Sadiq Abdulai Abu, here on Y1025 FM, as we get to discuss the impact of coronavirus on the creative arts industry. I mean, like you said, everybody has been hit. I don't know how you feel and how coronavirus has actually affected you and your business, especially if you are in the creative arts industry. You may want to share with us via Twitter. So send us a tweet at Y1025FM at NYDJ Live, and we will read them here on the show. Now, Boachi, the gentleman says COVID-19 have taught us we can stay at home at Friday and Saturday and nothing will happen to us. Yeah, that's true, right? So now our wives can actually have us over the weekend.
Okay, so
He says COVID-19 has taught us that we can actually stay at home on Friday and Saturday or over the weekends and nothing will happen to us. Charlie, that one there some way. Anyway, keep on with your messages and I'll read them here on the show. So we had an opinion from Accra. I mean, with Sadiq sharing an insight how 3Music Awards had to go on and all that. We're going to speak to Dr. Gyimah, who is also the CEO of iCommerce Events. He is into events, and I want to find out from him as well how it has impacted and whether indeed it's been negative or if they are surviving. How are they surviving? Because I knew they had events coming up. Unfortunately, all of them couldn't come up, but how are they surviving in this particular pandemic era? Are they still working? Good morning, Dr. Gyimah.
Hello. Hi, good morning, Noy.
Thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I understand some monies couldn't come through because, I mean, COVID-19 has cut short some of your events for the year.
Well, you know, I mean, that's true. I mean, you know that iCommerce Events, our business model is mainly with big outdoor events and big outdoor activations. So it hasn't been an easy year so far.
But how are you surviving? Because looking at the fact that you need, for you, yes, you are a doctor, so you have the other side to you. But I'm looking at a business as iCommerce and the fact that, yes, you might have made money from previous years, but your plans for the year seem to have been halted because of COVID-19. You can't really, clients are not coming in for any projects again. How are you surviving?
Well, you know, it's not, you know, when you run a business, it's not really about you, the owner or CEO or whatever nomenclature you want to use. It's about your staff and the people who support you to execute your events. I mean, they also, you know, frame their budgets, etc., on, you know, business flowing from you. So personally, you may be all right, but the other associated agencies or businesses that run with you will suffer. So, I mean, for us, we're surviving essentially through doing consultations for most of our clients on how to activate their businesses, you know, through social media platforms or through, you know, pre-recorded activations for them to send to some of their high-end clients. So sometimes consultancy pays better than the event itself. It will surprise you.
Interesting.
But I'm sure you already know that.
I mean, at times, looking at where we are and people not wanting to pay for consultation.
Oh, no, you know, whatever you do, whether you are into big events or you are into small niche events, you have some experience that somebody who wants to be successful will be willing to pay for.
That's true.
You get it?
Yeah.
So I think that for most of us who are, I mean, for me, for the past year plus, we've been doing quite a lot of big activations in Kumasi. And all the clients kept calling and saying that, so how are we going to do this year? You get it? How are we going to, you know, iCommerce does Kumasi Auto Show. And this was supposed to be like our 4th edition. And virtually all the car companies were going to launch a new model of car this year in Kumasi. And almost everybody sent a mail asking, so how are we going to execute our launch this year? And already we've done one, but it was virtual. we used it as a pilot to test how engaging it was going to be. One of the things I must add quickly is I know, anyway, data is expensive.
That's very true.
You get it. Data is expensive, so you won't get somebody watching your online platform, whether it's by Facebook, Zoom, or whatever, for 2 hours.
Not at all.
People are looking for brief content that excites them. So unless you're doing something like VGMAs or 3Music Awards or something that, you can sustain people's interest for like 2 or 3 hours. If it's a product launch, for instance, you have to make sure that it is concise and very precise and straight to the point, but engaging as well. So that if I'm spending 12 minutes or 15 minutes watching it on my phone or on my laptop or on my TV, I'm engaged. And that I can also interact with whatever is happening. So, event organizers just have to be double or triple smart about how to give their customers the best value for money.
Would you say COVID-19 has actually exposed another angle? Like, typically it's said that those who provide services that are needed would always stay in business. Now, everything is going virtual. Has that exposed us? Has that given us the need to now think digital?
Yeah, no, it has. You are in the virtual space. Sometimes you put together a package for your client and you say, oh, okay, I can give you 1 million impressions on social media, on Twitter. Or I can make sure that the post for the event reaches about 3 million people. And the question is that, how does that translate into cash? Like, what am I doing with 50,000 likes? Like, does it translate into money? And usually, most clients will say, I don't want those likes on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. I want foot traffic in my event. But now it has exposed a lot of them. And now when they call or when they send an email, one of the first 2-3 queries is, how are we going to make sure that like this thing stays top of mind on Facebook? So most people were not thinking about how much virtual contributed to their business. But because of COVID-19, now you have no two ways about it. You have to learn how to translate those impressions and likes and shares into people that you can contact and follow later and see if they'll be interested in your product or service.
That means we have some future, especially when it has to do with digital.
Yeah. We have a big future with digital. Let me give you a typical example. In the States, if there's a big boxing match, for instance, it's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Right, it's pay-per-view. And people pay huge money to watch the fight. Here in Ghana and other parts, we all go and look for some streaming platform and then we'll steal the thing and then we'll watch. But it's not the same. I know you've done some before. So
I know.
It's not the same like someone who has paid, let's say, $5 to watch, a Manny Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
So eventually we're going to go into that paid viewership or paid virtual attendance of events. And that's a huge generation of money because if, let's say, I'm in Takoradi and an event is happening in Accra, I cannot go to the event in Accra. But if I pay, let's say, 5 cedis, I get a package to watch the event throughout. That 5 cedis is not going to be the same as how much you pay if I had attended the event. But looking at the numbers of people who will now be able to access your event remotely, you stand to make more money.
So should we psych ourselves? For people who attend events, people who love to enjoy concerts and all that, should we be psyching ourselves toward a digital concerts now? Because we don't know. The lucky thing is that you are a professional doctor. So do we see the end of COVID-19 now? Because now, if we put together an event, it means we still need to ensure social distancing. We need to be wearing our mask. How is it going to be like? Imagine a full national theater with people in mask and you can't really enjoy. should we embrace ourselves for digital, like sit at home and enjoy online? Because the difference is also different. I mean, the experience is different watching behind the scenes and being at the auditorium.
Yeah, anyway, okay, so let me wear my other hat. Let me wear my doctor hat now.
Yes.
Coronavirus is going to be with us for quite a long time.
Hey!
Given the given the nature of the spread and the mutations that are coming up in the virus, and the fact that this is so new, we are learning virtually every day. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Would be a bit naive to say, oh, by next year, Corona will be gone. That would be very naive.
Wow.
I am looking at, I mean, I'm not trying to sound alarmist, but I don't see the coronavirus leaving, disease nomenclature anytime soon. It is going to be a part of us for a very, very long time, at least until vaccinations come in. And even when vaccinations do come in, I mean, are you going to present your certificate of vaccination at the event grounds before you enter? So it's something that's going to stay with us. The future is 100% digital. I mean, there's no two ways about it. The future is digital. I mean, anyway, most of the companies that are doing well, even young startups that are doing well in Ghana and all over the world today, don't have brick and mortar shops.
Yeah, they have
brick and mortar
offices.
died. Yeah, brick and mortar died 10 years ago. So everybody is putting their business on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And I mean, people make more money off those platforms than if they had a brick and mortar shop sitting somewhere in a Doom or Central Market. And I have to think about how I'm going to pick a car to get there or how I'm going to park. So the future has been going digital for quite some time. It's just that sometimes we find it difficult to adjust. You get it? To make sure that we are abreast with the times. In terms of huge outdoor events, because you like the big outdoor events.
Yeah, like YFM has a lot of outdoor events, like Lake, like area coast jam and all that. That means our revenue is going to catch up.
Not really. Your revenue can actually double or triple. But I'm not going to tell you that on radio. You have to pay for that.
Consultation.
But there are experiences that you can create for people to virtually feel like they are at the venue. You get it?
Yeah.
If people sell these 3D glasses or like these 3D visors that you can just slot your phone in and watch a movie 3D, by just putting the visor on your head. I mean, that's where it's going to go, because if you say I should watch 3Music Awards and I can pay, let's say, 5 Ghana cedis for the whole data packet of 3Music Awards, and that would mean that people like Sadiq and Charterhouse and Red, they have to pre-record the VGMAs or the event, edit and produce it for augmented reality, so that when I go on a particular site, say NYDJ Live, I can buy to watch 3Music Awards for 2 hours, and it will be charged by data. So I can watch it at any time. So it is downloaded as a data packet on my phone. So when I turn it on, I just slot it into my AR device or I turn on my laptop, and that's it. I can watch 3Music Awards, and I paid to watch it. But when you pay to watch it, there are some behind the scenes, some interviews,
some experience that you get.
That I'll get that if I had watched the free version, I won't get. You get it? So let's say Artist of the Year, you won't get it to watch it on the free version. If you pay premium, you get to see the Artist of the Year section. You get to see the one-on-one interview with the Artist of the Year section. You get it? So the juicy portions of the events are packaged in such a way that if you pay, you get it. Or else you have to go and read it on NYDJ Live after 24 hours.
It says after 24 hours. I try to be updated, and get it.
No. I see, for something like that, even for your company, for instance, you're going to make money off the fact that there's some content that you can only get on NYDJ Live.
Exactly. That's more like partnerships.
If you don't pay us to this, short code, you won't get that content that NY got. That behind the scenes interview with Manifest that he said something that you don't know. Only NY has it. So NY has that exclusive access that maybe he has paid 3Music Awards, maybe some thousands of Ghana for.
Yeah.
So only NY has it. So you can only watch it on NY's page.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, so that's how it's going to be.
So it means virtual is the future, virtual is now, but we can't really move just like that away from the very known things or the things we've been used to. It will take a while.
Yes, it will take a while, and it will also hit our pockets hard. You get it? Because if National Theatre can take, let's say, 2,000 people, and now they are doing an event and they must take, let's say, 25% of that. Okay,
that's like 400. Like 500, yeah.
500 people, right? It means that to get a seat in that event, you have to pay for the other 3 seats that nobody's going to occupy.
Interesting. Tough times ahead.
So it's going to be more expensive to be there at the event, and if you don't really need to be there, I mean, you watch the Oscars and all those things. People receive awards and they are not there, but they call them and then they do a live session, 30 seconds. They give the acceptance speech, and the trophy or the plaque will be, mailed to you or delivered to you.
Yeah, that's what they do most of the time.
Yeah. Exactly. And you don't have to go and sew any dress to show up. You can just show up in your house.
Our slave queens are dead then.
Yeah, I mean, they still have Instagram.
Dr. Gyimah, thank you very much for sharing those beautiful insights with us this morning on YFM. And yes, we are grateful. So how are Instagram slave queens going to do? Say cheese, take a picture, strike a post. Susie Herbal Center, producers of CB Men capsules and CB Women's capsules. They've got amazing products for you. If you're a man, you have a problem urinating. Maybe you're a guy, you have a catheter in there and it makes it difficult. Well, there's time. Susie Herbal Center has CB Men capsules for you. For the women, maybe go through menstrual pains. You have some itch and all that, a bit of discharge. You have some pains. Maybe crowding feelings. You can go in for CB Men capsules or CB Women's capsules. Available at all herbal pharmacy and chemical shops. Contact Susie Herbal on 024-7111-671. 024-711-1671. Well, the Ghana Beverage Awards 2020 is coming on. Join Global Media Alliance live broadcast on ETV Ghana and GBA Facebook Live. So like we talked this morning, live is the way, digital is the way now. Join us on Saturday, 13 June 2026 p.m. Now the question is, who wins the Spirit BSCSR Company Local Beverage of the Year or the Manufacturing Company of the Year? And who takes home the most prestigious award of the year, the Product of the Year? There's in partnership with Ghana Tourism Authority, Food and Beverage Association of Ghana, Consumer Protection Agency, Food Institute Account for Scientific and Industrial, Sansica Stores, Perception Management, and our media partners. Ghana Beverage Awards, inspiring excellence in Ghana's beverage industry. Let me quickly find out from K Official. K, I'm pretty sure you heard Dr. Gyimah speak, you heard Sadiq speak about 3Music Awards and all they've had to go through.
Yeah, first off, Charlie, Instagram slave queens, nene, models, no one. There are people who actually make a lot of money when they post a single post on their Instagram.
I know.
Not just for
you realize if you check my Instagram account, I hardly post anything apart from my work or myself.
Yeah. So people actually get money from
because the amount of money I try to post on Instagram, people can't pay.
Okay, so I heard Sadiq, I heard Dr. Gyimah, and all of them are speaking to various sides of the entertainment industry that has been hit hard. Mostly they are talking about people who pump in the money. That is people who organize the events, people like that. But we are failing to look at the people who also benefit some way, somehow, and contribute to it.
And who are those?
The woman who comes to sell bairayachi, the guy who comes to sell water, who comes to sell booze for people, they are all being affected.
Yeah.
Because they cannot sell. Right now, it's become coronally impossible. They cannot go out and sell. They can't get to events. The people who sell... I remember I watched this interview on Joy News. One guy who makes millions every weekend. Why? Because it gets to the stadium and then sells to people who come in to watch the games.
Unfortunately, sports and activities are on hold.
So a lot of people, so many lives have been affected by coronavirus. We actually left out the movie industry.
That's a topic we'll be looking at. God willing, we'll be looking at that with Shirley Paul Mansu and others as well.
No problem. But before we get in there, I need to hit hard on that. People are actually making a lot of money. People who create content, video content, are still cashing out. For some reason, you realized during the lockdown through till now, one person that has had a lot of importance, a lot of limelight is this guy, Clemento Suarez.
Suarez, yes.
Exactly. Why? Because he's actually using this. People are home right now. So our eyes are channeled on our YouTube, on our TV, wherever. So whatever little content, little effort someone puts in, it gets a lot of attention. A lot of people are getting, recognition. You can say that for all the wrong reasons, or you might wanna be on the other side of Chalakoyuka or Yidide and stuff like
because
that.
Of the use of digital.
Exactly.
That's how they are getting
because
all these
everything
attention.
is virtual right now. So
would you pay for a virtual concert? You don't have the opportunity to be there, but you're asked to pay for it and enjoy. Would you do that?
People pay to watch pre-recorded stuff on Netflix. People pay to watch other things that are not live.
Would you pay to watch a Shatawale concert? No, because of time, I want us to rope in the listeners. Would you pay to watch perhaps a Shatawale concert, maybe a Manifest concert? Would you pay to watch an Ochambe Kwame show online?
The purpose is to get entertained. So if I'm paying to get into, if I can imagine being there just by watching.
Imagination is different. You are doing imagination TV. See, imagine Ghana meets Niger, and then you have the Mavens come in, and then being in the auditorium is different. Like seeing Gyimah and all those people, it's kind of different. The vibe.
That is very true.
The speakers, like when YFM announces area codes and we say 10,000, sound bites and all that. And now you have to watch it on.
Yeah, it comes with a different vibe, like you're saying. But I would pay.
So you will pay.
Yes, I don't mind.
All right, 055-1433-050, 055-1433-050. Give me a call this morning. Tell me, would you pay to watch a virtual concert? And why would you pay? Let's see who is here. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Emma.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Abanteo.
Yaro, Papa, welcome. Yaro, see, I can say to you, Scanner Shatawale show online. I'll bet you.
Nintia kura me.
Ade.
I'm the video do ane ya na maya ko ties kan o enwa. On say that the wall be so na me ko ties kan because me hu ni ban. Performance what perform wo stage. How online there me hu ni ya na se phone so. That dey say ni nyun kura bet ma he.
Neza no ka ube kwa ko the music video. Okay. 055-1433-050. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Welcome to YFM. What's your name, sir?
My name is GH.
GH, welcome. GH, would you pay to watch a virtual concert? Be it an artist, be it a movie, would you pay to watch it?
Mr. Philip Kadochi, say, online.
Open Philip Kadochi.
I will name in and I'm not going to do. I mean, the phone so there. But
the way a corona things are best is sano. Don't you think you need to start psyching yourself for it?
Anyway, we are ready. With I want to become more. It's an idea. Okay,
but GH me dance it.
When we done, we go home and boom boom hop on the wagon. Baby's every
055-1433-050. Hello, good morning.
Hello, anyway.
Yes, sir. Welcome. What's your name, sir?
Okay, calling from Madam Martin.
Over, you talk to us.
Anyway, I didn't yeah, pa, you can never know, and you're online, so.
Ain't no man say be online, no. You still feel sad you wouldn't want to pay and watch?
Oh, anyway, Daddy.
To say, who's your favorite artist? Sarkodie. And imagine Sarkodie is going live on YouTube, and he says for you to be able to watch that full 1 hour performance, you pay 5 cedis. You won't pay to watch.
oh 5 CD anyway cool and yeah okay but I said why name favorite artist na me ko YouTube have and then one edi
na say your favorite artist crown po na say oh yeah e be what time to ko hwe bia na and because say no ye free ninti
I can't tell them coffee because anyone say Ghana network na no e gibe bia na e hard ni kakra
ti o challenge your internet
sa unya nyema smooth said you open no oh yes I want me share any money said you open
Matthias here thank you very much. So let's see who is next here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, I did it.
Yes sir, good morning, welcome.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Martin Sons calling from Adon PZ.
All right, go ahead for me. I'm listening.
Anyway, so far as Instagram is there, we can like have chat with them on Instagram live and stuff. It will be very difficult if you want to watch them online.
So what if they decide to put all their content on paid platforms where you wouldn't have access to them easily? Because say live on on Instagram, they are putting all that on platforms where you need to pay and watch. Still on yet.
Even for that one, I won't do it. Instagram day. You can't say almost so internet near that they say go to one to the culture just say and why? It's there.
Inti aya otonyum.
Betonyum.
Omonyum nom they call iTunes ne then what to be that?
Oh, maybe triple audio mark will to be that.
Oh, okay. All right, Matthias. Thank you very much. I'll pick one more call, and that'll be that. Hello, good morning.
Anyway, good morning.
Good morning, and welcome. Talk to us.
Anyway, the thing is, me if it depends. Your program was a my top MB finance actually, but mostly a challenge depends on the network. Because the network this year, it doesn't give you the enthusiasm to. I mean, watch the channel and I say, oh, better. No online.
Man, you're frustrating. Oh.
Yes, if you are better, no, any payment is all pay for me when you have the network, not jam. You chase young. And network in Ghana, your problem, me particular, the problem your networking.
Imagine say okay no so we cry still on the paid platforms so you need to pay to be able to access it but then if the network your friend is saying stable imagine you pay 10 cedis and then 10 cedis they has a data package I bet me more buffer I bet me with that one would you pay to watch
and they bet it would depend on the artist for another program because your program do on I can message and it definitely because foreign ones do quite a bit so it will depend but the problem party and network.
Okay, thank you very much for calling. So people have expressed their concern. It has to do with the networks. But I think the gentleman says, bro, some people go to events sake of girls. So now how are we going to get them? Go event because of
that is very true.
Oh really?
People, that's very true.
People attend event because of girls.
For real.
That means such a person wouldn't pay to watch online.
See, that is a challenge I have. I think people are kind of misunderstanding this whole thing. The money you pay to buy data to go to Instagram, you up that just a little bit to access a live concert. That is, if you talk to me or if you are speaking to me directly, I think that is fair. Or maybe you are prepared to pay twice the amount you pay to enter an auditorium and watch Shatta Wale perform, and you're fine. Maybe for VGMA, at first VIP was let's say 200 Ghana cedis. Now VIP will be 400. Then you go and then you observe social distancing. Are you ready to do that? Or we go online, you pay like 10 cedis and access a live event. I think that is how it's going to be. So people who keep saying when Corona goes away, blah blah blah, we should start acting. Charlie, it looks like Dr. Gyimah
Sadiq okay.
said it's going to be with us for a very long time. So you don't know when it's going to go over. You can't even plan ahead. So one thing you can plan for is go virtual. One thing you can plan for is how to come up with innovative ideas to entertain people, to do other things. In Kenya, I can say, Corona. It's a novel
because it's
virus.
going to be with us for a long time.
It's a novel virus. We are still trying to learn new ways how.
Like Doc says, until there's vaccination, and even when the vaccination is around,
it's still here.
Are you going to go to an event and show your card before you are allowed entry?
HIV is here. HIV has, treatment, all of that. We live with it. I think that is how Corona is going to be.
I have this message. I wouldn't mention the name, but it says the same emotions that asking a lady to send her picture evokes is the same experience or emotion a good digital experience would evoke.
Simple like that. So let's start, like you said, let's start psyching ourselves up that this virus is here to stay, to mess up everything. So we should actually find new ways of entertaining ourselves.
DJ Flo says, so do you want me to wear my new dress and sit at home and watch sack? Oh no.
Well, Charlie.